We're back with Bobby and JJ Radio. Our show today is entitled Senior Living, and we can actually call it pre-retired living because we're going to have Irene Morgan right now, the loan officer from SWBC Mortgage. Irene is one of our favorite people in the world. She's one of the top loan officers in San Antonio. Her team offers a variety of loans. We've talked about so many that she does, but today we're going to focus on the pre-retirement options for people that have bought 1, 2, 3, or 4 homes. She's helped over 208 families in 2013 with achieve the dream of home ownership with getting some financing, and her team of 3 is some of the best people in the business with the best customer service I've personally ever seen. This is Miss Irene Morgan. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
We're awesome. So I want to know, some people that are near retirement, they want to buy a home, and they've already purchased multiple properties in their lifetime. What do you think? And sometimes they don't think they have to get pre-qualified. They figure, I've been down the road before, I don't need to do it. What do you tell them?
Well, actually, everything has changed so much in the past 12 months.
Sure.
I mean, actually, I guess the past couple years, because so many repos, all the laws changed, our ratios changed, what they qualify for changed. I've been in the business 30 years, and I haven't seen as many changes as I have in the past 12 months.
Right.
So I tell people, I know you think you know what you qualify for, but wouldn't it be horrible if I qualified you for this amount, but you've been looking at a much higher price?
Right.
Then you can't really find anything you like.
Sure.
So
I always I tell people it's the same thing as going and shopping Mercedes and then realizing you need a Honda, right? And it feels the same way when you're looking at houses because, it's a disparity of 50 to 80 grand. That's a huge disparity.
It's huge.
Yeah, and then if you barely like the ones at the higher price point, it'd be very hard to find like the ones on the lower one. So,
and you never know. I mean, some people just think they want to have a conventional loan with 20% down, and they really would be better off with maybe a VA loan.
Sure.
Because the interest rate's so much less that they actually would have a lower payment and qualify for more house.
And plus, it's first of all, they're veterans. They should always try to do it. But also, it'll help them to get more house sometimes than they actually think they're going to get in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Irene, I know many of these buyers that are in the near retirement group. They haven't bought a house in a very long time. Can you just talk about what somebody would need right now to get a home? What kind of maybe documents or work history they would need?
You're right. If they haven't bought a house in a long time, they were used to pretty much, if they could breathe and they put 20% down, they could probably get a loan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now they have to have 2 complete years tax returns. They have to have pay stubs, proof of retirement pay, 2 months bank statements. And starting this year, we have to prove any large deposits in their bank accounts. So it's much more qualification than they ever had before.
So you can't use drug money anymore?
You can't.
No?
Nope. You can't use money that you had under your mattress. You can't use, if you dug it up and put it in your backyard, can't use it.
I'm out of luck.
What kind of income can you use for someone that is retired? How easy is it for them to use that retirement income?
Well, actually, it's a great question because just this month, SWBC approved where if they don't really have an income, but they have a lot of cash,
right,
we can take that cash over a period of time that
Siphon
they haven't used,
right,
figure out what the down payment would be and how much the monthly payment would be, and if they have enough cash to make those payments over a 15 or 30-year payment that they're going to do, we're qualifying.
With the money that they have in reserves.
With the money they have in reserves.
That they've saved up over the years.
It's a brand new program we just started, yes.
Yeah, that's good.
So what are some of these loans that people that are near retirement are trying to qualify for or should be looking at?
They can get a loan for, we have many different kinds of loans. We had like I said, the VA loan
for the veteran.
SWBC, we do it all the way up to $1 million. People just think that they can't get it. Well, why use it if they're buying a big house?
Sure.
Exactly.
And, they're moving up. They have, even the older people, some of them move down, some of them move up. Some of them move up because now their children are coming to visit. Now they have grandchildren coming to visit, and that house they raised the kids with is too small.
Sure.
And they think, I already used my VA, so they don't use it again. Well, now they can use it all the way up to $1 million with the much smaller down payment. Also, we do construction loans. Some people that are moving up want to build a smaller house or a bigger house.
Yeah.
And unbelievably, for the first time I've ever seen, construction loans, one-time close over $417,000 is cheaper than a conforming loan.
So it's cheaper to go and get the lot and go and do the utilities and do it all. And just from the ground up, it's actually a cheaper loan that can be done for that than just the regular.
The jumbo.
Yeah,
Not necessarily. If it's under 417,
Right, it's different.
that's not actually true. And sometimes they can still get a much better house that is built. But if they want to build their big home,
Right, their dream home, yeah.
it's a lesser interest rate at a one-time close on a jumbo than it is a conforming.
Sure.
It's strange.
If you're just joining us, we're talking with Irene Morgan with SWBC Mortgage. We're talking about the near retirement type of options for people. Now, will someone over the age of 65 still qualify for a 30-year note?
65, 75, 85. We don't discriminate. You can get a 30-year loan no matter what your age is.
Really?
I just did one from an 80-year-old man, and he said, I want a 30-year loan.
Sure, why
I
not?
said, you go for it.
Beat the clock. Beat the clock, right?
It's a race.
And talk about 15 versus 30. I mean, I know a lot of our older clients, they say, well, I don't want to be shackled to this house for the rest of my life. I want to knock it out. What are the benefits between 15-year notes and 30-year notes?
And that is the time when you want a 15-year loan. I have a lot of younger people come in and want a 15-year loan, and they don't really make sense because what are really the chances you stay in that house 15 years and you're going to have more equity, but it's your money you put into it.
Yeah.
But when you're over 55 years old and you may be downsizing, 55, 60, 65. My husband and I just did it last year, downsized. You want a 15-year loan because when you retire, you don't want a house payment anymore.
Yeah.
And so that is the time. And they even have 10-year loans. But when you're over 50 or 55, that's the time to get the 15-year loan if you want to.
But the 15-year loans, they do have lower interest rates, right? I mean, over that span, it's way less
Approximately,
interest.
well, right now it's about 0.75%. But
That's not much.
under normal times, it's 0.5%.
Sure.
But it is the fact that you're going to pay it off earlier. Many people get a 30-year loan and say, I'm going to pay that loan off, but you don't.
Yeah, we've had some clients, mutual clients, that did a 15-year note. They were younger, and I think it was like you said. You told them to. I thought it was brilliant. You said there's forced savings for you because you're putting into the house, and the equity is dropping, but you're not gonna probably pay it off before you're not gonna die in it, right? So you're gonna probably just
Well, it's not the equity that's dropping; it's the loan amount that's
the loan amount is dropping, right? But the equity is growing. I'm sorry, sure.
What about somebody? Is there a benefit of paying cash over getting a loan, or vice versa?
Well, you still have, it depends on what your income. I mean, most people that can pay cash want to, but you don't. The mortgage payment is still tax deductible, and it's one of the only things. I mean, they took all of our tax deductions away from us. It's one of the only things we still have that's tax deductible. So that's the benefit.
So if they're still making an income, then they can use it to lower their liability for tax.
Even if they're
and
not
interest
making
rates are between 3.5% and 4.5% interest rate.
Cheap as
I mean,
money.
that's almost free money.
It's cheap as money.
It's
ever.
almost free money.
It's
Yeah.
almost free
I
money.
want some free money.
And these buyers near retirement, Irene, will either downsize to get a smaller home, or what do you see more of? Like, are people that are near retirement, are they downsizing, or are they getting the bigger, better ones?
Well, most of us are downsizing.
Are
I'm
you?
in that category.
Yeah,
I'm
we-
62 years old, and my husband's 70, and we're downsizing.
Me and Bobby were at your dream home, I guess, the big home out on
We
top
had
of
the
the
big
cliff.
home on the hill, yeah.
It's not a hill. That was near a mountain, and it was looking over almost all of Bulverde. Remember, and it was like floor to ceiling windows, and I was in complete awe. My jaw dropped and tongue rolled out. It's probably like Looney Tunes.
You're so funny.
And then I know that you sold it to someone there in the neighborhood, and then you went and downsized, and to I think still a beautiful home, and not even too far from where you are now. It's right, great location, and I was telling Bobby this part perfect. Perfect time right now to pay everything off and just relax. And
Well, a lot of people our age like to get a one-story house. Our knees, our backs are not really good anymore. We want a one-story house. We don't want a lot of yard. We had that, been there, done that, and want to downsize.
that was a lot of acreage.
Well, how about for that buyer that's looking to really upgrade and buy something over $500,000? What kind of loan would you recommend for somebody like that?
Well, right now, the rates are awesome. We actually, most of the time, you have to put 20% down. We do have a program where you only put 10% down, but the rate's considerably higher. But you can put right now 20% down, go all the way up to 850, 900,000 with 20% down.
So
the
what
rates are low, and they're very, very appealing. And
But what type of loan
it's
is
a
that?
wonderful time. It's a non-conforming fixed rate. That's a 30.
Would it be a
you
jumbo
get
loan
30
because
years.
it's over $500,000?
If it's over 417,000, it's a jumbo loan. But like I said, for the first time historically that I've ever known, conforming and non-conforming rates are the same.
Yeah.
And can you tell the difference between non-conforming and conforming rates?
Conforming is anything under 417, and that's
And over.
That's where you can pay under 417. You can put 5% down. But if you go over 417,000 in the loan amount, not the sales price, you have to put about 20%.
And what are some of these qualifications? Would somebody have to qualify for a $500,000 loan? Need different qualifications or different documents?
No, all the same.
It's all the same. And so let's talk a little bit about just the regular, above 417 jumbo loan that we're talking about, and let's talk about jumbo VA loans here. Well, how do you feel? What are the benefits of using your jumbo VA? Because a lot of people just think, like you said, the VA is kind of like a zero down first time home buyer.
You do not
loan.
need 20% down. I mean, and their funding fee when you go over jumbo drops to about 1.25% or 1.5%, depending on. You have to put a partial down payment down. The interest rates are fabulous. They're much better than any other rates. Absolutely, positively, bar none. If you ever had VA benefits, use them.
Well, JJ worked at Old Navy, and he shops at Salvation Army. Does he qualify for the VA?
I guess I'm not a vet. I'm not a vet.
He shops at Salvation Army.
You have to have been in the military.
Look at that sweater.
Yeah,
Tell me he didn't get that sweater from Salvation Army. He should qualify for the VA.
Yeah.
You have to be in the military at least 181 days under normal circumstances and have an honorable discharge. And you also have to, in today's world, if you're in there now in the last 5 years or so, during the wartime, you only have to be in there 90 days.
Real quick, Irene. So when someone wants to buy a vacation home, what kind of loan would you recommend for them?
It's very easy to get vacation loans right now as long as you can qualify on regular conforming, and you only need 10% down.
For a vacation home?
Yeah, up to $417,000.
That's awesome. And Irene, I know that we want to thank you always for joining us. I know that you always give any of our listeners, you give them something for listening. You're going to help them out in some way or another. You can customize their home loan, whatever they're going to do for a dream home, for their last home, for their first home. And you do a lot of stuff with SWBC mortgages. But what can you give our listeners today that are out there?
Well, anybody who calls, we'll give them half off the appraisal.
Great.
And we'll do a free pre-qualification.
So the appraisal can be up to $500.
That's right.
And you'll rebate $250 of that.
That's correct.
Great. So anyone wants to contact Irene, they can text her at 210-771-0139. Again, that's 210-771-0139. Pull out your phone. It's 771-0139. Or you can contact her at imorgan@swbc.com. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk about some retirement living with Mary Dyson. Don't move an inch. Do not change your dial. This is Bobby and JJ Radio.